Hey, it's Marthea. It's the MSW coach. I'm going to type a comment. If you are watching the replay, skip like 30 seconds ahead or just give me time to set the room. I'm going to be quiet while I do this because let me be quiet. I got 30 minutes less than before I need to be somewhere. Hey, as you come in the room, you're going to see the top of my head because I'm typing the comment. But what I want to talk about today is how to properly vet a career coach. How you doing? How to properly vet a career coach. Today I was scrolling around on the internet and I came across a reel, I think it was, by somebody that provides career coaching to the internet, like super popular. They talk to universal career seekers, which means anybody, any profession, any like type of job. I don't think they specialize in like people with degrees or people without degrees. And so when I was watching a live, I left that encounter like feeling so all over the place because it was like the reel was like a whirlwind. Of course, with a reel, you have really less than 8 seconds to grab people's attention, and it was a whole lot going on in the reel. And the person was, I felt like overusing AI technology for something that's really a simplified process, and they were making it extremely complicated. And I was like, no wonder the people are so confused out on the career streets because if you're consuming all of these tips, tricks, hacks, all of the things. Like one time I saw another person talking about put the text in the bottom of the the footer of your resume. Put your text in white font. Make it invisible so then it picks up on ATS system. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is why people are so confused because there's so many contradicting things, so many tips, tricks, and hacks when there's really just one way, like one simplified way. Like in the beginning, you think, oh, I'm starting off doing this hack and it's going to save me time. But watching all that this person had to do with this AI software, I was like, oh my gosh, they could have been done with that in like 30 minutes. It to me, of course, it was condensed down, but I was like, that feels like if you are not familiar with the tech app or whatever it was the person was using, I'm like, the learning curve for that is going to take you hours, if not days, especially for people who are non-tech natives. So I wanted to come on today and talk about how to properly vet a career coach. Right. And so I'm sharing this because I feel like I need to do this as a social worker. I have to educate the people. So even if you decide not to work with me and work with someone else, that's fine. I still want you to carry what I'm going to give you in your pocket so you can properly be able to weed through all of the different conflicting voices out on the internet streets around jobs, getting interviews, hacks, tips, tricks, things like that. Because me as a career coach, I teach my people the traditional method, which is learn how to write your resume, learn how to read job posts, learn how to find the jobs that you want, and then learn it first manually, and then at some point you can automate the process, which I do teach them how to automate their job searching so they're not sitting hours at a computer. But like this process this person was teaching, I was just like, it was complicated for no reason. And I'm not a person that's afraid of tech of any kind, but I felt overwhelmed watching it. So I wanted to come on and share 3 ways. I'm going to give you 3. You need to do all 3. But like if you're in the market for a career coach, this is what you need to be looking for, because there are a lot of people out here that's just pushing. They're like career education influencers. Hey Jay Adams, how you doing? They're like career education influencers, and I've never talked about it publicly, but I've had like businesses in my email box asking me to push products and things like that and services. But once I did my due diligence on them, like, I don't even believe in that type of thing. Like, I know from, my background is workforce development. However, for people who are in this business to become an influencer, they're not, I don't know them personally, but I would say they're not guided by the same level of ethics, right? Or know the background. So I want to share ways for you to properly vet a career coach, because if you out here running around in the internet streets picking up these tips, tricks, and hacks, you need to make certain that you're clear about the source that's giving it to you, because it's most likely probably leading to the confusion that you have around how to navigate the job market, what you should be doing, things like that. So I'm going to jump right into it because I have a little bit of time before I have to go to my thing. So the first thing is that when you are vetting a career coach, you need to make certain, and I'm looking at my notes, that this person has been able to achieve the thing that you want to achieve in your career in their own career, right? And so what I mean by that is I see a lot of people picking career coaches who are like based on their education, based on their degree, based on the fact that they have a PhD, based on the fact that they went to blah, blah, blah school. However, when I look at the person's like background, they have never gotten the type of job they're supposedly teaching people how to get. Right? So when you're vetting a career coach, you want to go do your due diligence and make certain that this person has been able to get the type of job that you say you want. So as a wild example, right? If someone is interested in a tech job, you should be picking a career coach that has gotten a tech job. And when I'm saying a tech job, not a job that's like very entry level, low on the tech like hierarchy, right? So I'm not picking at tech, but I've done national level work around STEM careers. So that would not be somebody that's like first year of a help desk job in tech. Right? You would want to pick a career coach that has like progressed up the ranks. So when you're picking a career coach, you want to make certain that the person has been able to achieve the thing that you want to achieve in your own career. Right? There's a lot of people out here that serve universal career seekers, right? Where they may serve people in the hospitality industry, people in tech, people in healthcare industry. And so sometimes those people have not worked in all of those industries, but they have experience from working with people in those industries and getting them jobs. However, like if you want to really ensure that you're getting a good quality of service, I would say do research on the person and their professional background to see if they have done what you're trying to achieve. The second thing is that you need to do your research to determine if they have been able to duplicate getting the type of job that you're wanting with others, right? And so when I say with others, this is not like one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. This would be dozens of people. Have they been able to duplicate this, replicate, rinse and repeat their system to help others get the same type of job that you want, right? Or the same like industry type of job that you want. Now, of course, there are career coaches out there who are just getting started, but still, like if you want to ensure that you are picking someone that can really help you, I would suggest that you pick someone who has testimonials, who has like clients and customers who rave about them. And again, I'm not talking about the person that I saw earlier, the real. I'm just giving you these tips and strategies. Like make certain that they have done this with others. They've had success for others. The third thing that you need to make certain is, and I'm looking at my notes, is you need to ensure that the approaches that the career coach uses meets your needs and your capacity. So going back to the reel that I talked about that I saw earlier from that career influencer, are government jobs considered macro? Hey, music. It depends on what type of government job. Drop in the comment what type of government job you're considering, and then once I share this third one, I can answer. I can give you some feedback, and we can do a Q&A. So the third thing is that you want to ensure that the career coach's approaches and meets your needs and capacity. So what I mean about that is, as an example, if you're an introvert and the career coach that you're vetting, like their primary strategy for you, teaching you how to get jobs, is to network, but you're an introvert and you don't like networking, then you may not want to go with that career coach if that's their primary strategy of you need to network to get referrals and do these things and go on LinkedIn and post 12 times and be in people DMs, right? That does not align with your needs, because as an introvert, you're not going to do that. You may do it one time, but you're not going to do it enough to see results, right? Another example is, going back to the reel earlier, is maybe the career coach you had relies heavily on the use of tech. So I was talking about the reel earlier. So if you are a non-tech native, and use of tech and AI and all of the things kind of intimidate you, and you haven't really went over on that side of the world, you would not want to pick a career coach that's telling you need to buy all of these apps, software things, and seeing your information there. Or maybe you're sensitive about your information being out in the world. I know a lot of social workers are that way because you work in such sensitive positions where your confidentiality is key. So you need to be assessing, is this person going to require me to use all of these things that will potentially not be a good fit based on my needs and my capacity? So I'm going to wrap up these 3 things, and then I'm going to answer Music's question about foreign policy. So the first thing is that you want to make certain that this person has been able to achieve the thing in their own career. Okay. Harold is in the building. Hey, Harold, how you doing? You want to make certain that this person has been able to achieve this thing in their own career, right? Again, not just looking at education, but looking at their actual professional background. Have they been in the type of job that you want? If so, check. That's a good sign. The second is, have they been able to duplicate this with others? Again, dozens of times, not once, twice, 3, 4 times, dozens of times. And are these jobs still in alignment with the type of job you want? So you want to look at client testimonials, want to look at reviews, you want to look at what other people are saying about their experience of working with the person. And then the third thing is that you want to ensure that their approaches meets your needs and capacity. So the example I said earlier is, if you're an introvert and the strategy is a heavy reliance on referrals, networking, posting on LinkedIn, jumping in recruiters' DM boxes, that would not meet your needs and your capacity, because as an introvert, you're not going to do that. Right? And then another example is, maybe the career coach requires you to use a lot of tech, a lot of AI to teach you how to write your resume and run it through the software 500 times and do these tips, tricks, and hacks. If you're a non-tech native, that may not meet your needs. Okay? Another thing is that I'm going to add in as a bonus is, if your career coach is not teaching you how to write a resume, if they're not teaching you how to write a cover letter, if they're not teaching you how to find the jobs and determine if you're qualified, unless you want a done-for-you service, that's not a service that I suggest you sign up with, because getting a job is not a one-and-done thing. You would need to get a job for the rest of your life, right? So if you're purchasing a service where they're doing it all for you, you're not learning anything. So that means that, yes, it may be cheaper on the front end, but in the words of Funky Dineva, you're going to pay on the back end, because that means that every time you go want to apply for another job, you're going to have to purchase that service again. So it may be more beneficial for you, in my opinion. It is more beneficial to pick someone who's going to teach you the thing. That's why I teach my people. I teach my people to fish. I don't give them the fish. I'm going to teach you, because I want you to have this skill for the rest of your life. That's why they've been able to go on and get their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th macro job. I have one that's on her 5th job, because I worked with her before coming online. So those are the 3 things. I'm going to answer Music's question. Music, are you still here? Drop a 1 in the chat so I know if you're here, because I know I'm going to have questions for you. Drop a 1 in the chat and let me know if you're still here, and I'll answer your question while Music is doing that. I am having a live webinar on Sunday, October 13th, where, okay, Music, I'm going to answer your question, called How You're Already Qualified to Get a Macro Social Work Job. In that webinar, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 transferable experiences every social worker has. I'm going to break down what it is, what it looks like in a case management job. I'm going to explain how, when you have those experiences, how it makes you the unicorn and it makes you a top candidate for macro jobs. And I'm also going to explain, I'm going to break down why it's so valuable to macro level work. Because I want you all to see on paper that you're already qualified for these jobs. You're already qualified. You don't need another degree. You don't need a license. You don't need a certification. So I'm having this webinar to break it down on paper and show you where you're already qualified. Okay. So if you register, the link to register is in my profile. Visit macrounpaid.com. The ticket only $25. Learning these transferable experiences teaches you how to, 1, assess if you when you qualify for macro jobs, so you're not just looking at the jobs hoping, wishing, praying. It also teaches you how to write your resume to clearly communicate and transfer your translate your experiences. I'm sorry, my daughter coming in the door got a little distracted. How to clearly translate your experiences on paper as well as in interviews. This is how my people get interviews. This is how they master interviews, by understanding what experiences they have on the micro level in their case management job that makes them qualified for macro jobs. All right, so let's get into Music's question. So Music said, originally, are government jobs considered macro? Yeah, I consider them, depending on what type of jobs now, because I'm going to give you 2 examples. I'm going to give you one example. If it's like a social service job, like at your local department, in Florida it's called Department of Children and Families, where you're a child welfare worker and you go out to the homes, or maybe you're like a week in nutrition counselor, whatever they call those people. Those are social work admin jobs, right? However, for what you're interested in, you said foreign policy. Most definitely, that's a macro job. I consider macro jobs any jobs where you are doing work that is statewide, like regional in the U.S. wide. So that would be like in the Southwest region of the United States and the Northwest region, and then most definitely international. I have a client who's now international macro social worker, and shortly after coming out of the micro to macro career accelerator, she went to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, and she served as a representative for the organization, the global organization she worked with here in the U.S., and that was a part of the career plan we put in place for her. And she now travels extensively internationally as a part of her job. So to answer your question, most definitely foreign policy would be international. What specific aspect of foreign policy are you interested in? That's very broad. I think I got 5 minutes to give you some hot seat coaching. What about foreign policy are you interested in? What issue? Is there an issue? Is there an aspect? Is there a component? I'm using a lot of different words, but it's all the same thing. Foreign policy would be the umbrella. What specific part of foreign policy are you interested in? Oh, you said, wow. I gave you a lot. Did I break your brain? I didn't. I will do that. I will give you a lot of information. But tell me, and I'll wait because I know it's a little delay. Okay, like diplomatic work. Most definitely. That's what you want to do? Yeah, that's macro level work. Do you want to do it with a specific country? Like between the U.S. and a specific, or are you in another country? Because I know I have people in other countries that I work with. Do you want to do that between the U.S. and another specific country? Most definitely. I like it. Give me a little more detail. What do you have envisioned? Why do you want to do that level of work? I know you have a reason. Okay, so the U.S., but do you want to do it between like another specific country? Like I have a coaching client right now who she is in the DR. The DR, I believe it is. And she's been over there as a part just on her, like the job that she has. However, she wants to remain abroad. So we're strategically working on finding her an international organization to get a macro job with once her assignment is done. So we're looking at all of the countries, like all of the countries that she's interested in. Okay, so you said I'm interested in humanitarian efforts. Not sure about what country you just said. Yeah, most definitely. Like for some people, it's women and children. Since you said humanitarian efforts, is it like women and children? Is it a specific population? I'm just asking because I'm curious. But most definitely, that's macro level work. I hope I answered your question, because I feel like I want to give you some more, but that's most definitely macro level work. Who was I gonna say? Not the is it United? Yeah, United Nations. We look at them often for jobs inside of the micro to macro career accelerator. The United Nations application process is real technical in nature. But that ain't nothing if you just spend some time with it. Or you say still not sure what country just yet, still building ideas. Yeah, I would encourage you to consider to come into my career coaching program. Enrollment is opening on October 13th, because now is a time where you need to be ideating about what you want to do in your career. Because getting those jobs is not a quick process. Like I was just talking about the United Nations. The United Nations job application process is very, very technical in nature. Not saying like, oh, you can't do it. But I'm saying like it will be proactive. It will be a good use of your time to right now be actively looking on their job board, learning as much as you can while you're in the waiting phase about their application process, maybe even applying to some jobs to get some no's, to see what you did wrong, going out reading on their website how to fill their job applications out. You said not sure about what country just yet, still building ideas. I was there Sunday. I'm the one applying for 5 jobs. Oh, okay. Okay, so you was on the career planning session. Yeah, you should come in my career coaching program, Micro to Macro Career Accelerator. If you want to learn about it, I have a link in my profile. It's like the 3rd or 4th link. Let me tell you the exact number. Schedule a session. Schedule a get to know you chat with me. Let's talk. It is the 4th link from the top. Says join the Micro to Macro Career Accelerator waitlist. When you click that, I give you information about the my career coaching pro. I know that ain't Nicola in the building. That's one of my clients in the building right now that got a macro job doing national level work in health equity. I'm sorry, I ain't seen her in a month of Sundays. Nicola, I hope everything is going well. We need to update. But click the 4th link in the profile, and then it will take you to the information page. But also on that information page is a link to schedule a free chat with me. Let's talk. You say, okay, I'm going to be looking. I got some availability this week. But you need to be spending your time getting clarity around what type of diplomatic work. And that's what I teach inside of the Career Accelerator. I help actually 2 of my clients on here that got macro jobs. But I teach you how to get clear around what specific issue, what specific country, right? Because if you just start applying to any diplomatic job, and let's say it's in, I'm not even gonna say a country. Let's say it's doing something that you're not interested in. That's how you quickly find yourself in a situation if you are not happy in your case management job, that's how you get in unaligned positions, right? And I have a whole framework called the 3 Ps framework where I teach you, I help you through a very strategic process, get clear around what do you want your day-to-day work look like, what population you want your work to center on, what issue do you want to address, right? So you can have high career satisfaction. So let's schedule a chat. Let's talk about it. Most definitely, because there are things you need to be doing now. there are wheels that need to be in movement now. Even if your plan is not to do this until like a year from now, 2 years from now, there's still things you need to be doing now, because with the government, it's like a very extensive vetting process. You need to make sure like all your ducks in a row and your boxes checked. And those are things that I can guide you through. All right, so I'm going to go. But most definitely attend for those watching the replay, those here live. Brenda, I hope your day was good. I see you in the chat. Okay, I'll look for your schedule. But for those who are watching the replay, those who are just joining in live, I'm having a webinar on Sunday, October 13th called How You're Already Qualified to Get a Macro Social Work Job. In that webinar, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 skills that every social worker have, the top 5 experiences that every social worker has that already makes them qualified to get macro social work jobs. All right, I'm going to go. The link is in the bio to register. The ticket only $25. It's limited spaces. Get your ticket. Happy macro career planning. Bye.